Most people chase goals that look and feel like progress, but a lot of these goals quietly destroy the only thing that really matters: freedom. And when I say freedom, I don't mean that travel wherever you want, work from a laptop on a beach garbage. I mean something much, much simpler. Being able to wake up on any given day, call it a random Tuesday, and every single thing that is in your schedule for that day is there for one reason: because you chose it. There are no obligations that you didn't sign up for. There are no structures that you're trapped inside. And if you decide that morning that you want to cancel fucking everything, nothing catastrophic would happen. That to me is the end state. Everything else is noise. And I think that honestly, most people never get there. They don't even get close. And the reason is relatively simple: because they set these types of goals that society praises. A better job, a nicer apartment, buying a house, getting a promotion at work, a better, fancier job title. But the issue is, a lot of these goals are structurally incompatible with freedom. So these people achieve their goals and they think that they're leveling up, they're making progress, but they're actually tightening the cage. For years, my entire adult life honestly was just doing shit that I didn't want to do every single day. And it was fucking torture. One of the clearest memories of this I have is waking up in Auckland in the middle of winter, freezing cold, pitch black morning, pissing down with rain, running on 4 or 5 hours of sleep, dragging myself into bland corporate clothes that I absolutely hated. You know the ones, a fucking checkered shirt, throwing a leg over my motorcycle and riding 40 minutes in the pouring sideways rain and wind through rush hour traffic, just to sit under fluorescent lights for 9 hours in an office that I didn't want to be in. And honestly, that was the moment it hit me. This isn't my life. This is just a series of obligations that I've been forced into that I never consciously chose. And nobody tells you this, but if your everyday reality is defined by obligations that you didn't choose, you are not free, no matter how successful you look on paper. And really, there's a few common patterns that you see in society, and this is where people wreck themselves. The first and the most obvious one is buying a house too early. It locks your geography, increases your burn rate, and ties you to whatever job you're in. You can't leave because you've got to make the mortgage payments on this enormous debt. Another one is chasing promotions. Yeah, you get higher pay, but you also get taxed higher and you get lower autonomy because you have more responsibility. Of course, a promotion comes with higher pay, but you've got to think about what else it comes with. It comes with lower autonomy because you have more responsibility, you have more meetings, and you have much more pressure. You get a bigger job title in exchange for losing control of your time. Another big one is lifestyle upgrades. Nicer apartments, nicer furniture, nicer cars, all these types of simple material upgrades. These feel like rewards, but really what they do is raise your burn and lower your optionality. And then I guess another category is just simply doing things just because it's what adults do. Marriage timelines, career timelines, home buying timelines. People build cages and they call them milestones. None of these things are inherently wrong, but they are wrong when they contradict the life that you actually want. And one of the biggest wake-up moments for me was really realizing something that no one talks about. The people at the top, the partners, the executives, the C-suite, they are the least free people in the entire organization. They're the busiest. They have by far the most responsibility. They're the most time poor. They are tied to the role in a way that nobody else is. Yes, they earn more money, but not that much more. And definitely not enough in a lot of cases to justify that trade. You see, climbing that ladder does not lead to freedom. It leads to golden handcuffs with a nicer title. And that's really when I realized a promotion is not progress if it makes your life smaller. And I think the biggest shift for me was understanding this. Freedom isn't just something that you try and achieve one day. It's something that you optimize for first. You start with, what do I want my actual day and my actual life to look like? And then you build everything else around that. You got to price your lifestyle honestly, and then you have to build the machine that funds it. And you have to reject goals, even the socially praised ones, if they reduce your autonomy. Because here's the truth that most people never consider. If you don't design your life around freedom, you will design it around obligations by default. And the biggest difference for me between then and now is relatively simple. Now, I can actually choose. And feeling that contrast with where I was just a year ago is violent. Now, for example, if I don't want to work today, I don't work. If I want to move countries, I pack my suitcase. If I want to disappear for a week, I disappear. There is literally no obligation in my day that doesn't serve the life that I'm building. And this level of optionality was not an accident. This was engineered. This is what I was designing for. And once you experience it firsthand, you realize the truth. Most goals that people chase aren't goals, they're traps. At the end of the day, every single goal collapses into one question. Does this make me more free or less free? Most people never ask. They build a life that looks successful but feels suffocating to be in. They trade autonomy for appearances, and they chase milestones that shrink their world instead of expanding it. But if you want a life that actually compounds on your own terms, then freedom isn't optional. It's the only thing that matters. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I drop one like this every 48 hours, and I hope to see you in the next one.